Morning, Ray here, not that one. Welcome back to Ray's Big Paddle. Ray's Big Paddle is going to turn into Ray's Long Walk by the looks of it, because it's only now 6:10. I loaded all my gear into the canoe and I'll paddle out of this bay to the main body of the water, and yeah, it's just the wind is too strong and the waves are too terrifying to contemplate for me. So I've turned around and come back. The only option now is to sit here and wait for the weather to change, which doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. So there is another way, and that involves about a 7 to 8 kilometre walk on a path through this mountain somewhere, which is where my German friends are talking about going. But obviously they've just got a pack raft, I've got a canoe and 2 heavy bags, so it's going to be a bloody slog, but I really don't feel I've got any choice. So that way I think it's just too risky for me, far too risky. It's a massive wind and it's going to be blowing me onto the rocks the whole way down that stretch, which is just, yeah, I can't face it, to be honest. It's just too much. So I've carried the first bags to where the path splits, and I'm now walking back to get the rest. So what I'm going to try and do is to tie the paddles and everything to the canoe and bring the canoe and the last bag in one hit. So I've just been doing the maths. If I do it 3 times, then I'm going to be walking 35k or thereabouts. If I can do it obviously this way, then that'll be down to 21, which sounds a lot less distance, as long as I can manage the weight. It's going to be quite tough going. It's very tough going bringing the first bags up, to be honest. And annoyingly, ever since I left the water, the wind seems to have dropped. But I think that is all a bit deceiving, because I think as soon as you get down near the beach again, it's blowing the hoolie. I got caught out like that on the first day on the Rogen. Seemed calm, set off, and then wallop. So you know, this will be hard work, but at least at the end of it I'll still be kicking and breathing. Maybe not kicking because my legs will be fucked, but my legs will be extremely worn out. But there we are. Hopefully I'll still be alive. So whereas the other way it was all looking a bit, oh yeah, it's looking a bit sketchy, very much so. The thought of getting, you know, shipwrecked on those rocks, as it were, canoe wrecked, yeah, not be a good day at all. This is a really beautiful woodland all through here, and under different circumstances this would be very pleasurable. It's you know, yeah, it's really nice, eerily quiet. Yeah, whole mixture of different trees and terrain, rocks, lichens, mosses. The bizarre thing is, even last year when I was walking through all this similar stuff, you'd think there'd be absolutely tons of wildlife here, but you hardly ever see anything. This makes me wonder why I bought that bloody heavy camera. But yeah, very hardly ever see anything. You know, I heard a couple of birds tweeting this morning, but that was near a camp. I haven't really heard anything down here, which is very surprising. I think being this far away from human disturbance, they'd be teeming. Yes, that's a completely different story on the wind front when you get down here. So I do think I've made the right decision anyway. Funny how things just keep flying on your mind. Yeah, I think, could I have made it? I don't know, possibly. Right, I've leapfrogged my first drop off. I left my first bags at the 2 kilometres mark, and I've carried the next bag. I'll start again. I carried the first bag and left it to the junction, which was 2 kilometres up the track. Went back, got the second bag, and I've leapfrogged the first bag by probably half a kilometre, maybe a touch more, and I'm now on the way back to get the canoe. So this is my 4th time down here so far. I tried to bring the canoe with that last bag, and yeah, I got it a little way, but it's just too much. It's all too heavy. I'm not strong enough to hold it all, and trying to keep my canoe straight was really sort of making me twist my back, and it was just, yeah, it was just too much. So I got to sod it. Better to do more distance and, you know, rather than really take everything out of my body. So I've still got more to do after this. So yeah, still got the Rogen climb, the Rogen portage to look forward to after this massive hike. And now I've just got this little voice in my head saying, I should have gone by the water, should have gone by the water. The wind's dropped, all the clouds go in a different direction. All this bloody crap goes through your bloody head. But there we are. I went out there and looked, and it was fucking scary, so that's the reason I came back. So that's all there is to it. But this is going to be a very hard day's walking, climbing, canoe hiking, whatever you call it. Canoes do look rather out of place in the forest. Yeah, get the feeling it shouldn't be here. Swampy, swampy, swampy. Swampy, swampy, swampy. Just when you sort of beginning to feel a little sorry for yourself with all the effort you're having to go to, I've just met my 3 German colleagues who I keep bumping into now. They're doing the same as me. They're not going to go around by the water because it's too rough, so they've come this way as well, and I've just passed them. But because they're pack rafting, they can do all their gear in one hit. Well, I did look like they were carrying an awful lot, but they perhaps had a bigger breakfast than I did. But the last guy, I didn't understand what he said, but something's happened to his boots, so he's doing this in Crocs, which did make me laugh. He was slipping and sliding all over the place. It's like, oh dear, yeah, Crocs, not the ideal hill walking footwear, but so, you know, somebody having a worse day. Hi ho, hi ho. Off we go. Left my canoe behind. On days like this, you just have to find amusement where you can. Just looked at my phone. Apparently I've smashed my 10,000 steps for today. I've smashed my 10,000 steps. Yeah, that's cheered me up no end. I wonder why someone's left that canoe in the woods. I have had one little change around. I've managed to redistribute my bags a bit. So now my 70 litre seal line is really full and heavy, but I've reduced the weight of my backpack so I can carry the backpack and the canoe, and then the seal line and the other bits and bobs. So thereby I've reduced my distance by a third over these sections anyway, because I can now do it all in 2 trips. Much better than 3. I'm afraid there isn't going to be much canoeing content today, if any. So maybe a little bit I did this morning, and then the rest is going to be hiking this trail. I think the way things are looking is that I'll probably get to that Rogen wind shelter where what I thought was a long portage turns out it's not. Where that is, then yeah, I'm going to stay there I think tonight, sling the hammock up, because after I've finished this I'll be completely wiped out. Then I'm going to start off in the morning, just carry the gear up to the other lakes. Then yeah, I mean, Friday today, so tomorrow's Saturday. That is I left on a Saturday, so that's going to be my eighth day. Yeah, I don't quite know what I'm going to do. I know from there I could get back to where I started in a day fairly comfortably. Chances are I won't. I think I'm going to just meander around those little lakes, maybe do a bit more fishing, just relax a little bit after today. Try and get a bit more drone work done, because I haven't done as much as I was hoped to. What else? Yeah, that's about it really, I suppose. Had one last camp, maybe even where I had the first camp. That was quite a nice little spot, that was. So yeah, we'll see, and then I'll pack up there Sunday morning and aim to get back to Carinjon about midday perhaps, something like that. That's my latest thinking anyway, so we'll see how that works out. Right, good news, I'm over halfway. It's now 1 o'clock, but I've just left some bags back there, gone back for the canoe and the last bag. The old path is quite flooded in places, as you can see. It's a bit of a stream. Yeah, one of my feet, well, my feet are soaked, but I've got these sealskin socks on, which are holding up quite well. But I've just managed to get one of them wet on the inside a little while back, so I've just been taking care of that, because I can feel you sort of feel a blister sort of starting. So I've just tried to dry the socks off a bit. Anyway, when I go back for the other bag, the canoe, there's a few tricky sections on this bit. Oh blimey, here comes somebody else walking through the woods. I expect he's wondering who the canoe belongs to. Right, I will switch off and catch up in a bit. Oh, we're still edging closer. I've just left the canoe up the track a bit. Oh, I'm going back for the other bag. But this terrain is not very canoe carrying friendly, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep out of the water as much as I can, because my feet are already quite wet. That's with the rucksack and a canoe on your back, it's hard to, you can't use your arms to balance so well, so I'm finding I'm starting to stumble quite a lot. Probably in no small part due to the fact that my legs are getting very tired. It's been a very tiring day so far, but we are getting ever closer, so I don't know what we got, whether I've got 2 more leapfrogs. It might be there, somewhere close to it. I am sort of overlapping by quite a lot, probably at least 1 kilometre each time, maybe more than that sometimes. But yeah, this This is what happens on these tracks, unfortunately. It's all peat and stuff, and this time of year you get a lot of rain. Very familiar. Wales, Peak District, Lake District, all as much the same. Yes, anyway. Met that Swedish chap, he's off for 5 days, he said. He's walking around the lake, staying at the various shelters. So he was seemed quite chipper. He was very bemused by the fact that there was a canoe up here. I explained to him that the sea was too rough. Okay, my main bags are within half a kilometre of the wind shelter at the end of Lake Rogen, but unfortunately my other bag and my canoe I've left quite a long way back. I just wanted to get something near the shelter. Yeah, track's quite rocky uphill as well. Obviously I'm going back, so I'm not going downhill. Yeah, so wherever it is, I think it's still quite a long way back. So retrieve the canoe, and then hopefully in about an hour and a half I will be sat relaxing in the wind shelter. That's my hope. That's now almost 4 o'clock. So, very long day in the hills.